Hello, Jesse Good here, and the leaves are falling, the nights are getting dimmer, it must be October. I love October because it's a Halloween month, you know? So today I will be counting down the top 10 spookiest LEGO sets. Let's say you're building a LEGO Halloween display. These would be the must-get sets for that display, which capture that Halloween aesthetic in their builds and minifigures. Get your pumpkin carving tools ready, be prepared to scarf down a handful of candy corn for every time I say spooky, and without further ado, let's get into this. Starting off the list is the LEGO Studios 2002 Vampire Crypt set, which is different from many of the other LEGO Vampire sets. It's a bit small, but still packs the creeps. I had this one when I was younger and regret ever taking it apart. The backdrop sets up the old Crypt context, there is a hidden trap door, and one of my favorite LEGO pieces, the coffin. Well, it's two pieces, the molding for that was so cool when I was younger. And Dracula in this set is still my favorite vampire minifigure to this day. Well, maybe besides Marceline. I think that hairpiece is so fitting. I don't know why they switched to the Widow's Peak one for the recent vampires. Maybe it's because the clutch power on this original one is always just too loose. I also love the cape, which was unique for its time. Nowadays we got a lot of capes with the top part behind the head. And the Hunchback is another pretty underrated minifigure. It's our only ever figure of this kind of character from the monster folklore. I'm kinda sad we never got a CMF Hunchback though. The 2015 LEGO Scooby-Doo sets were great, don't get me wrong, but the colors may have put a lot of them out of my consideration for this list. The lime green doesn't fit so much in a spooky display, and I mean I love the Mystery Machine set, man, it's something we associate with haunts, but I'm looking for something more spooky on its own. The Haunted Lighthouse can definitely stand on its own in a frightening display. The whole lighthouse stands on an island with a friggin' skeleton head. What a classic spook. LEGO has done that before though. There's spiderwebs all over, and a cliche keep out sign. Like with all of the other Scooby-Doo sets, there's frightening secrets throughout that you can use as clues to solve the mystery. Then the two villains in this set are spooky core. Sure, they're humans underneath, but their disguises include a haunted lighthouse keeper and an admittedly creepy swamp monster. Perhaps that should have made my top 10 creepiest LEGO sets and minifigures list. You know, even though I think the 2012 Crazy Scientist and his monster set is spooky, I didn't include it on this list because I think 2002's LEGO Studios Scary Laboratory set from 10 years back is much more frightening. Simply put, it's bigger with a lot more monster, there's a full skeleton, and a ghost in this one. And honestly, I like this version of the monster better than the 2012 version because it looks more ridiculous. That top headpiece is so oversized it makes it look a lot more creepy looking back. The same can be said with the Scientist, whose face looks more exaggerated and maniacal. For the build, as I said, it's bigger and messier. There's little compartments here and there and minor touches like bats, rats, and even more skeleton heads in jars. Dang, LEGO loves that addition. In general, this is a pretty rare set and one I've wanted for a while. It's hard to find good pictures of it online. Someday I'll hopefully get this set and the werewolf one to complete my LEGO Studios Monsters collection. The LEGO Monster Fighter Zombie set from 2012 is incredibly sought after, and for a good reason. The minifigures and builds are unlike many LEGO sets, they're downright chilling. The Zombie Bride is exclusive to the set and has freaking blood on her face. Yes, LEGO calls this makeup, but we know it's not. It's a sad story. The bride and groom seem to have bit the dust at their wedding. And the grave is a great scenic playset. You'll get some spooks by using the play feature of the rising dead from their graves. The Mausoleum has a stained glass window and overgrowth with a bat and a glow-in-the-dark spider to boot. However, the Jack McHammer's vehicle is pretty goofy, albeit violent once you think about it. I went over that aspect in my top 10 most violent LEGO sets, but it basically implies he smashes the dead back into the ground. Oof. I had to feature another LEGO Scooby-Doo set from 2015, the Mystery Mansion set. The dark purple works here for that Halloween aesthetic. There's boarded up walls, overgrowth, spiderweb windows, and just an overall raggedy look on the outside. Inside it's a bit cramped, but there's a creepy crypt for the vampire, a secret rustic vault, and a big spike ball to spook trespassers. Since this is from 2015, this is the only set that includes the incredible jack-o'-lantern piece, one of my favorite pieces of recent years. It's such a Halloween piece, excellently molded, I love it. There's even a killer plant, which is quite a scary build. The minifigures include the newer style ghost with the new ball and chain piece, a haunted knight, and a vampire. Of course, all is not as it seems, as with most Scooby villains, it's just a bunch of people in costumes in the end trying to scare away the mystery gang. I do not think the LEGO Monster Fighters 2012 Ghost Train is a really good set, but it's pretty dang spooky. I mean, look at this bad boy. There's parts all over that glow in the dark, including a big ghoulish face up front and a ghastly green flame. The locomotive is riddled in bones and even bat wings. Then for the minifigures, you get 3 friggin' ghosts. How ghoulish can it get? The build may be ridiculous, but it's ridiculous in that spooky Halloween way. Gosh, this is another set I really want. It's almost a holy grail Lego Harry Potter set. Then again, so many old Harry Potter sets go for ridiculous amounts sealed. This is a Graveyard Duel set from the Goblet of Fire line in 2005. In a way, I think this is scarier than the zombies, because it's just more real. They don't waste space with a ridiculous vehicle, or they have a bunch of tombstones in a Molosseum. But there's no glow-in-the-dark spider, or witch's cauldron or moonstone. No, it's a full Molosseum and graveyard. The gravestone for Tom Riddle is particularly spooky, as is the dead tree. Then there's the minifigures, and really since it's Harry Potter, we're not going to get pure Halloween monsters. But this version of He Who Should Not Be Named glows in the dark and has a haunting face, there's a cool charred skeleton, and the Death Eater has a scary mask. The LEGO Monster Fighters Vampire Castle set from 2012 takes the third spot. This is an essential LEGO spook and definitely one of my favorite sets of what was a really strong year. The muted colors work for the creepy exterior. It's not all boring gray, they add variety by making the tower roof parts black and adding glow-in-the-dark stickers throughout the walls. There's a lot of essential spooky elements like spiders, bats, but those are found on most of the sets on this list. However, this one goes one step beyond with some of the darkest play elements. This is another one I talked about in my most violent LEGO sets video, but there's a tortured skeleton dead on the chains in one room, another room leading from a trapdoor is a deadly spike pit, there's hidden spikes at the gate. For more traditional scary elements, Lord Vampire has a fantastic pipe organ like the popular Dracula myth, there's a new coffin, and the Moonstone portal has a ghoulish glow in the dark crescent moon on it. The minifigures are fantastically spooky as well, with Lord Vampire himself, his bride, and two bat monsters with a hellish look. It may be from a different era than our modern age, but Vampire Castle is definitely a great set to put out during Halloween. This is a quintessential spooky LEGO set, the Haunted House, the one I will never get my hands on because it goes for double its price on eBay, the one I've been wanting to get since the release and regret not getting. Honestly, forget it. I will buy it by next Halloween, mark my words. Either way, the spookiness is captured in the set's rustic architecture. The exterior has boarded windows, the color scheme is muted, but it works for the creepy avoid this house aesthetic. The interior has spooky little additions like a witch's pot, haunted old photos, and an attic accumulating ancient attributes. Of course, LEGO tops this off with all-star monsters, a monster butler who is still exclusive to this day for his gray colors, a zombie, two ghosts, and Lord Vampire with his bride, those latter two being identically creepy as they were in the Vampire Castle set. It's all the best of the Halloween season in one spooky set. Well, there's no candy, but you get the point. And the spookiest LEGO set is, well, a minifigure series. LEGO Minifigure Series 3. It's scary how bad this series is. First we have the terrible... Okay, I'm kidding. It's LEGO Minifigure Series 14. This is currently the only non-licensed themed minifigure series and it's based around monsters. And this is the only thing on that list that is 100% spooky. I mean, come on, not only is the series filled with spooky monsters, but we even have a skeleton costume guy with a Halloween jack-o'-lantern bucket. From what I heard, this series didn't sell well. I mean, I understand it released in August of 2015, so it only had about 3 months to catch the Halloween hype. After Halloween, I could imagine sales drop significantly. I mean, all the monsters have their spooks. Some are cartoonishly spooky, like the plant monster, crazy scientist, and specter, while some look pretty unsettling, like the fly monster and banshee. I have to say, the witch is the embodiment of Halloween. When I think of Halloween, I think of witches like the Wacky Witch. I love that figure so much, it's like the only LEGO witch figure I love. Well, traditional witch that is. It reminds me of the old Halloween books I loved when I was small. This series also adds 3 more zombies, which are a lot of people's favorite types of minifigures. This includes zombie pirates for a shipwreck display, a comedy horror-esque zombie cheerleader, and a zombie businessman out for brains. Despite its short runtime on shelves, LEGO Minifigure Series 14 will be remembered for years to come as providing the ultimate variety of spooky LEGO. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun list, and stay tuned for more Halloween content as we approach my favorite holiday environment. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.